One more time. We back again, family. They let us do it one more time. Hey, we got a good one tonight. I was feeling real good about this one. Again, we're taking those calls. I had a couple of conversations, just like you do every week, all month. Had some people had some issues, and so this is a piece. What we do here at the Clipperdome Chronicles. This stuff comes up from the hair salon and the barbershop. It's 10 years of research that we have up to this point. So this is just stuff that we want you to take and have conversations with, right? So if you're just sitting around with some family and friends, or maybe you're at the job and it might be getting a little boring, it's just some stuff that we all go through. We try to want to get a little more in depth. We want to get more to the core. We want to try to unpack some things that can look very, very similar, but be very different. So we're going to look into intent. So the name of the video tonight is controlling versus governing, and it was security versus gold digging. So when we say that, we're going to start first, fellas. Women say that men try to control them. So what we must be cautious and careful of, brothers, is you can govern. That's when you sit down with your woman and y'all come up with a plan and a goal, some guidelines in the process, and you pick a destination and y'all govern together. Y'all make those decisions together. Okay, that's your intent, is to sit down with your woman and y'all want to be on the same page. You want to have that vibe. You want to compliment and not compete. So when you govern, it's different from controlling. Controlling is when you say it and you do it, y'all do it as a couple because you said so. And it's like that the majority of the time. That is when a woman could say that you're controlling her. So now, fellas, what we have to understand is if you're a man or a mature man, again, not a dude, not a brother, not a thug, not a hustler, that kind of stuff that has its place. But we're saying in healthy, regular relationships, when the woman is saying that she wants you to lead as the man, you have the capacity, you have the mentality, you got the skills, the tools, and the resources, and you can lead her. That's when you sit down with intent to do good and well for you as a couple, as a whole. That is how you govern. Controlling is going to feel like she's being used. When you control, it's going to feel like she's being taken advantage of. When you're controlling her, it's going to feel negative. But when you sit down with your woman and y'all both have agreed that you are going to lead the relationship, you sit down and you govern with your woman. That is not control, ladies. If you are going to allow him to lead and you have to set those parameters for yourself with your relationship, you have to know what his strengths are, where his weaknesses are. He has to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are. And then together y'all sit down and you build your plan and your process and you get your destination and y'all work accordingly to that understanding. So a lot of times you need to write it down because some of us, we can get triggered. We can go back into our trauma. We can get into our insecurities, our inhibitions, and then we're not thinking clearly. So if you write it down and then both of y'all sign that piece of paper, so when you're doing that, that will keep you to the script. So when somebody gets into that zone, maybe their filter is not clean. And you remember in the last 2 or 3 videos, it's called, is your filter clean? If your filter is not clean, the filter extracts what you do not want. So if there's something that you don't want, your filter is going to keep it from going through. So then your filter will allow certain things through and there's certain things that it will block. So you need to understand that we all have that. We all do it. But when you sit down and you govern and you put it down in writing, you can refer back with him or her so that y'all can get some clarity on that situation and understand it, because we have a lot of discord, because we know communication is usually lost in translation in our relationships. So now we want to move on to the gold digging piece. Gold digging security versus gold digging. Fellas, we know that we need to protect and provide. That is connected to her security. That is her core being of being a woman. That is what she needs from you. That's going to be at her core. So when you get to the provisions and the security part of that is going to be providing, which is going to be finances in today's current world. So you're going to have your money right, or be able to have a source of income that's stable, that's going to make her feel secure. So that's not a gold digger, fellas. That's just a woman. Most women are going to need you to provide. They're going to need you to protect, and that's directly connected to her security. So if you understand the core nature of a woman, you can't get upset when she wants money. She's going to want a house. She's going to want furniture. Then she's going to want new furniture every 5 or 6 years. She may want to put an addition onto the house. This is part of being with a woman. So when you're a man and you have provisions and you got your life right, you got your mind together, and you govern it with your woman, these things are going to come up. Now, how does that look, fellas? When you governing with your woman, it's not that she could put on 1,500 square feet or 2,500 more square feet to the house. It's not that she can go out and buy, high-end furniture that might cost $5,000 to $10,000. You sit down and y'all work that out. Maybe you need to buy a piece here and a piece there, for the first year until you eventually get what you want. Sit down, govern that piece out. That's not a gold digger. That's just a woman. So now, fellas, the intent. Now we know it's just like control for us when the woman is gold digging. If you can't be around this woman without having to always spend money on frivolous things, I'm talking about she can't just eat at the Hardee's or the buffet. She got to sit down and she got to go to Ruth Chris, or she got to go to Papa Do's, or she need to be at something above the Red Lobster, J. Alexander's, things like that. That's very expensive. If you do that 2 or 3 times a week, you drop $150 to $200 every time you go. That would be $300 to $400 a month. That'll be $5,000 to $6,000 a year. That's just those outings. That's not the vacations that you would take. That's not buying her clothes. That's not her birthday. That's not your anniversary. That's not the kid's birthday. That's none of that stuff. So the intent, fellas, from gold digging and security is 2 different things. Usually when you're giving a woman security, you can govern that piece. That's something y'all can sit down and agree on. A gold digger is usually being selfish and self-centered, and she's trying to get her way and get you to do things that only satisfy her at your detriment, at your sacrifice. When you get nothing out of the exchange, there's no reciprocity in gold digging. It's just that she gets what she wants, and then that's it. Now, that could be a sexual exchange a lot of times. Sometimes if a woman is gold digging, she agrees that she's going to have intercourse with a man. So you have to be, if that's what you do, you grown, both of y'all agree, that's fine. But a lot of times, most fellas that has a gold digger in his life, he didn't agree to those terms to the level in which he's trying to spend. Okay. So that gold digging piece kind of feels the same way, ladies, to a man as controlling does to you as a woman. So if you out there and you're doing those type of things, you need to be mindful that most times when you're being self-centered and you're being selfish, your intent in having security and your intent in gold digging, they can look the same, but they can be very, very different. So I just wanted to put that one out here. We wasn't going to hold it long tonight. This was part of the conversation that we had, but we want y'all to take this. We want you to test this. We want you to try this. Take it to the barbershop or take it to the hair salon. Take it to the job or take it to the church. Remember, you don't have to like it, believe it, or understand it. Sometimes you just have to respect it. This is the Clipper Dome Chronicles. Thank you.